Hello there video editors and motion designers. In this video I'll show you a quick and simple method to create a looping liquid gradient background like this you're seeing on the screen in Premiere Pro, no plugins needed. So let's dive right into it. First up, let's create a new sequence and let's create a new layer. Let's make it a color matte. You can choose any color you want. It really doesn't matter. I'll just leave it black. Let's click OK. Let's import it and let's extend it to be 12 seconds long. So exactly 12 seconds. We want the whole looping animation to last for 12 seconds. If you want it shorter or longer, obviously put the desired length. Now let's go to our effects panel. Let's type in gradient. Go figure. And let's apply 4 color gradient to this bottom layer. So now we are first gonna duplicate this layer and stack 2 layers like this in our timeline. Go to the top one and change the blending mode to soft light. Now, depending on the effect you want, sometimes even hard light can work or vivid light. Even some other blending modes can create a really interesting effect, but to achieve the look that I showed you in the beginning of the video, we are gonna use soft light. So now I came up with 2 color palettes, one for the bottom layer and one for the top layer. So I'll select the top layer and apply the top color palette to it. And then I'm gonna select the bottom layer and I'm gonna apply the bottom color palette. All right, now you can see we are getting somewhere. You can see these shades of blue with a pop of orange, red. Over here, I wanted to create sort of a sea sunset liquid aesthetic going on. So that's the combination that I went for. Obviously, depending on the look you want to go for, you're gonna have to experiment with these colors and find the combination that works best for you. What I found works best for me is to set the base colors in the bottom color palette and then just have the top color palettes used as a sort of a highlighter where I'm gonna have whites and blacks and maybe one of the base colors applied as well. Going crazy with the colors in the top palette can sometimes create a muddy look where your colors are gonna get mixed too much. So I would just recommend maybe sticking to this formula where you're gonna set your base colors, your base look in the bottom layer, and on the top layer you're gonna play with the highlights. So now to create that animated liquid effect, obviously we're gonna have to do some animating. We're gonna have to move these points around, and we are only gonna do that for the top layer. So first I keyframed the point positions for all 4 points. And since it's gonna be a looping animation, we sort of need to go back to where we started, but let's just go step by step and let's go to 3 seconds because that's the first fourth of the full duration. And here let's just move them around. So let's drag this one down, let's push this one here, maybe push this one over here, and just kind of switch their places. Then let's go to 6 seconds and now let's move them around in a different direction. Now let's go to the 9th second and over here let's kind of push them around as well. You can get creative with the movements, and obviously for the last keyframe, we're just gonna copy these first 4 keyframes and paste them over here to the end of the layer. So you can see they're moving around and creating this liquid warpy effect. But we're not done yet. We're gonna have to apply one effect over these 2 layers. So let's create a new adjustment layer. Let's place it above. Let's extend it to fit the length. Let's go to our effects. Let's type in turbulent displace. Let's apply the turbulent displace effect to our adjustment layer. And here you can play with these settings, but what works for me is a turbulent smoother displacement setting. And amount, I like to increase it to at around 150. And the size can be increased to 150 as well. And right now you can see that we got that true warpy, turbulent, liquid effect that we're going for with this type of background. One other effect that I really like to apply to this style is noise. So I love using the noise HLS effect. Let's just drag it over the adjustment layer and let's go for the grain setting and let's put all of these values to 3%. And as you can see, you get this noisy gradient action going on, which just looks absolutely beautiful to me. You can see it in so many different magazines, websites, motion design projects. It's really popular. And now you know how to create it in Premiere Pro without any plugins, without having to deal with Adobe Dynamic Link between After Effects and Premiere Pro. You just simply have this sequence that you can then nest, call it gradient background, and you can then just duplicate it because it's a looping sequence that just works magically, and you can use it in any of your projects. It renders really fast, uses only the basic effects, and therefore I love using it because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, creating these amazing looks in the most optimal way possible by using just the basic resources that you have with your Adobe Premiere Pro. Also, I will leave this project in the description below. You can download it for free and just simply use this gradient background that I created, change the colors, play with them, find the combination that works best for you. And as always, have fun, keep editing, and I will see you in the next video.